Welcome to the Christian and Daniel Show.
It's about to get real, well, you know the deal. You won't have to guess how either of them feel. Bringing up the things you don't think to know. Never knowing where the conversation will go. Just a little more than anything goes. It's the Christian and Daniel Show.
Heidi ho! Hello, everyone. I am Christian,
And I'm Daniel.
and this is my show with Daniel.
Yes,
It's the Christian and Daniel.
it's all
show.
about you. All tu.
Todo
Todo
tu.
Welcome, everybody, to the Christian and Daniel Show. I'd like to welcome all our friends on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. If you don't mind sharing this on your page so that other people can watch along with you. If you're watching us on YouTube, scroll down, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. It'll let you know every time there's a new show on the air. And now we've got more shows to show you. On Mondays, you can watch
More.
On Mondays, you can watch horoscopes first thing in the mornings.
Hello.
And remember, every other Monday, we've got Insightful, a movie review show with both of us and a guest. On Wednesdays, the Christian and Daniel
Sometimes.
Show.
We hope
Yeah,
for the
we
guest
hope so.
someday, some point.
On Fridays is the Card Diva or Zodiacs, and on Saturdays we're back with put together live stream, and we've got a special guest every Saturday. But if you would like to be a guest on that show, welcome to it. Hey Charlie, welcome.
Hey, Charlie. Hello. Piper. And Paul.
Oh, hi. Nice to hear from you. How are you doing? Good evening. How's it going with you?
Good evening. Good night.
Well, what time is it?
Depending on where he's at.
You're in
If he's in Europe, Western Europe, it's 8 hours.
Paris?
8 hours. So, yeah.
Excuse me, I think.
9, 10, 11, 12, 1. It's 2 in the morning.
Is it 2 in the morning? Are
It's
you
2
watching
a.m.
this?
in Paris.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you for staying up with us.
So, yes, good morning, actually.
Are you in bed watching us? Well, thank you for having us in bed.
We're there for you, Paul.
I don't know why I did that, but how's everybody going? It is Wednesday, January 25th, and thank you so much for joining us today. How's your week? Did y'all catch our show, our second episode of Insightful on Monday? We had a pretty good discussion.
Yeah, and we went for our full hour.
Charlie was there, so Charlie can tell you if it was a good show. It was a good show, Charlie. And
it was fun. It was fun.
But Insightful, a movie review show, is our new show on our network. And we're looking at old movies through a new insight. And this week we were talking about Steel Magnolias. And 2 weeks from now, we'll be having Torch on Trilogy. We'll be back with Torch on Trilogy.
So you see, I was right.
Woke up at
it's
1
already
a.m.
2 a.m.
had
in
an
the morning.
orange because it's already morning in China. Oh, you're in China?
Oh my gosh, you're in China?
Oh, cool.
You're in China?
My first threesome in years. Well, there you go. Thank you, Charlie. Yes, it was a pretty good show. So if you'd like to join us, not next Monday, but the Monday after, we're going to be talking about Torch on Trilogy. I'll be putting up where you can find the movie. I think did I say HBO had it?
Yeah, you said HBO Max.
I think HBO Max has it. So we'll post the link where you can find it so you can watch it. And then all you have to do is join the show.
And oh no, at 2:01 a.m. this morning, there was a 4.2 earthquake.
It's in Italy, Sicily.
Oh, Sicily. Okay. Oh, that's where White Lotus was filmed.
Paul has an orange in Sicily. And I don't know why. But anyway, come join us. Come join us for that. Today, I found some really cool National Today days.
Did anyone hear me?
Oh, we had an earthquake this week.
There was a 4.2 earthquake 20 miles off the coast of Malibu.
I didn't feel it.
That we had at 2:01 a.m. this morning. I was still awake, so I got to feel the rolling quake.
Maybe that's what woke me up.
But it wasn't like a real quake. Like by California standards, that was just a little roll. Like felt like you're on the ocean, on a rough ocean for a couple seconds.
Because I got up to go to the bathroom, and I can't remember if it was
about it was quite a while after.
Oh, was it after?
Yeah, you were dead asleep. I went in the bedroom. My mom, are you okay? And Yeah, he's on a Tempur-Pedic mattress, so he didn't feel it at all.
And I'm gone. I'm gone when once I get to bed, and yeah, I was asleep too. I don't remember.
But yeah, no, I mean, trust me, anyone who's not a California native or no earthquakes, 4.2 is just enough to, if you have a regular mattress, not a Tempur-Pedic that doesn't absorb the energy, then it might have woke you up. But yeah, 3 a.m. here, a tremor. Yes, the aftershocks went as far as Sicily.
Well, it did. They did feel it in Laguna Beach because I was watching the news.
Yeah, no, that's
I was watching the news.
Not a surprise.
And
and then there was an aftershock at about 2:30, another little rolling aftershock.
So anyway,
so that might have been that's closer to when you woke up was the aftershock. But by California standard, a 4.2 is like you just sit in your chair and kind of ride it out. You don't run around hiding under a table like they showed in Home Economics, the most recent episode of Home Economics.
I was asleep.
Things don't fall.
How interesting though that we just watched that episode and then we had
they had a quake that they played off like was considerably more, but
thunder and lightning here could have woken me up.
Oh yeah.
Is it raining in Sicily? Does it rain the same in Sicily? No, just kidding. Is it wet?
Is the rain wet in Sicily?
So which is interesting because today is National Observe the Weather Day.
Oh, well, and I had said yesterday that everything was really quiet. I go, it was a very quiet, everything was quiet. And I go, and the sky was gray, but it wasn't blue, but it wasn't like dark gray, like rain, but it was kind of grayish red when the sun was going down. And it reminded me when I was a kid, everyone would say when it gets quiet like that, when things get still, not quiet, but still, it's like my parents, my dad and mom, I can't remember which one, but they'd always say, oh, this is earthquake weather. Like they go, this is earthquake weather. That means something's coming because the animals know way before us that the earthquake's coming. And they kind of like buckle, they like, what do they call that? They buckle down.
Yeah.
In anticipation. And I noticed last night when I went out to take the trash out that it was really kind of quiet. Like it wasn't quiet, it was still. There's such a difference between quiet and still. Because still is like eerie. Like when you're in the deep woods and everything goes quiet at night, you're like, something's coming.
It's like tornado weather in Dallas.
Yeah, I guess I get it wrong.
Jackson and hey guys, how you doing? Glad you're watching.
Oh, hey.
Thank you for joining us.
Hey guys.
Snowing in mountainous areas in North Africa. Oh. I guess, is there a way to see that? I have to look at the map, but yes, so today is Observe the Weather Day. So what's the weather like where you are? Another thing, I'm just gonna because it's a taco. Today is National Fish Taco Day. So just so you know, it's National Fish Taco. You like fish tacos?
I like shrimp. I like tacos de camarones.
You eat fish tacos.
Hi, Crystal.
Crystal Kent, how are you doing? I hope you're feeling better. Sending you a big hello.
Oh yeah.
You didn't feel the earthquake was what I meant. Oh no, I don't. And even when I'm awake, I rarely ever feel them anymore.
This one, 4.2 is just getting enough that you can't really ignore it. Like you don't think like, oh, did Christian shift on the couch or did the house, did someone slam a door? Like this one, it's good enough that you like my TV rocked for about a second or two.
Yeah,
you could hear it rocking.
But yeah, well, I mean, obviously here, if you're here in California, you know that there's aftershocks, and sometimes they come up a day later, a couple of days. So
I never realized that my mask hanging there looks like someone's bra hanging there.
Oh,
that's funny.
Right there.
Yeah.
So for everybody, this is a black mask,
not
Christian's bra. We hang that on the outside of the door.
Yeah.
For the door dashers to
yes.
To
so they know food. Just leave the food at the door. Don't
leave the door at the one with the bra.
It makes it real easy to identify which door they're supposed to leave the food at. That's for sure.
I saw your facial reaction and I just had to clear it out. Oh! You thought I was thinking gutter? I was in the gutter. You know I do. I go there. What is it? So many national somethings days over at your head.
Oh yes.
Well, I try to pull them out so we have things to talk about, but then you guys carry the conversation. We were supposed to have Snowmageddon in Cleveland, but we got rain instead. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it
But then-
warmed up.
Oh, but then raining when it's cold. Ooh,
Yeah.
that's where I left it. Wink, wink.
Wait,
I'm doing okay. I have a lot of rest time, doctor's orders. Good. But so I didn't think well, we wish you the best, sending you lots of healing energy your way.
and that's all you can do. So baby steps.
Well, considering that like Crystal is resting and today is also a room of one's own day. So yes, I had the same look. So what does that mean? Today is celebrate your she shed or your man cave or your own space. So the question is, if you could create your own room, other than your bedroom or your living room, but if you could create the perfect room for you, what would be in the room?
Oh, I'd want.
There is nowhere broad day. I'm sure there is, and I'm going to look for it while we're talking. just because you brought it up, I'm going to look it up.
There
So,
is. It's America, so I'm quite sure we have a national "Don't Wear Your Bra" Day, or "Burn Your Bra" Day, or something. My room would be very minimalist. I'd want those like hanging shelves on the wall that just look like they're just coming out of the wall. I'd want a PS5 in there with 4 controllers, all in their own chargers. And I'd need one of those TV sets as big as the wall. So the whole wall is the TV. And then I want super comfy couch, but it can't be leather. It has to be cloth. I've learned my lesson, gotten over leather. And then I just want my blankets and pillows. And it'd have to have, I want one of those. I'd want a glass front refrigerator with all my snacks, veggies, and drinks, and then a little kitchenette, and then I want one of those Coca-Cola freeze things that they have.
oh,
The Arctic, I think they call it Arctic
yeah,
Coke.
like the ones at Burger
It
King.
basically, you just take. Well, no, you take like a regular bottle of Coke, you put it in this little machine that's part of the Coke's refrigerator thing, and it freezes it for you in the bottle.
Oh,
So you have, or in the can,
Yeah.
or in the cup, or whatever it may have. Either way, it's called Arctic Coke or Coke Arctic, and it's a machine that just, I guess, through induction. I think it uses induction to freeze your drink and make it a slush. So you make any Coke product a slushy.
oh, there you go.
Nancy would love it.
Yeah. I think she just joined, so I'll repeat the question in a minute. Gaming room, big TV,
Oh yeah,
movie
and
collection.
I want all my streaming services.
Big sofa. Christian said, yeah, so you're right. So we already went through some of the national todays, but the one that I highlighted was today is a room of one's own day. And so it's celebrating your room. So
Like your dream room.
So if you could design your dream room, not your bedroom, not your living room, but a she shed or a man cave or a Garzaville. That's what I would call it, Garzaville. It's what would you have?
Oh,
in
and
it?
I'd also want it to be insulated.
Christian, that's what I say. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He basically wants a Slurpee machine.
Yeah. And I want it to be really well insulated, like not against, of course, against weather, but I mean actually against sound, so I can listen to my movies at movie volume rather than polite volume.
I would want
Oh, and it has to have my surround sound system.
yes. So I want a TV. Oh, wait a minute. Let's,
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
pretty.
yeah, Nancy has her she shack.
She has her she
What do you have in your she shack, Nancy? My personal private room is a greenhouse filled with plants
Aw.
and free flying tropical birds. Oh, with wartime music in the system.
Oh,
That's
I
very
like
very
that.
nice.
Very
specific.
retro.
Yeah, that's
very
pretty
cool.
Uh,
And that's very smart because that's a very relaxing environment.
my room would have a computer with 3 screens, a big industrial microphone, an industrial camera, and lighting. Basically, a studio. It would have. I don't need a bed. I just need a lounge, something to lay in and take a
Like a
nap.
Shea Lounge.
Yeah, and a big TV so that when I want to, I can project the videos on my big TV. Definitely all the movie streaming services because I love, particularly a good Hallmark movie. I would love a Coke machine that somebody has to come and restock every week. Mexican Coke machine, obviously.
So the like an old fashioned one that does the
Yes,
bottles.
and I have to have a little kitchenette thing so I can make me food because I like to eat while I'm cooking. Canvas, painting, makeup, etc. Yeah,
I love that.
I've been to my sister's she shed. And,
Oh, okay.
and
I haven't yet.
you forgot about the big couch,
No,
the big chair that takes up most of her
most of the
she shed.
she shed.
I would want to have hand and foot restraints in my. Well, that's a whole other room there, Charlie.
Well, no, that's his seat. That's his he room.
What kind of music, or would you play? Well, no, because you would be playing video games.
Yes, I don't.
You
I
would
would.
have music.
I would. I could have music, but there's no point.
I would want a jukebox with 80s Mexican or Spanish and English songs. I would want a half and half English, half Spanish, 80s music, because I like playing music while I'm working. Yeah, she's laughing. She's got a pretty good deal, but she's got this big chair.
I'm sure a big comfy chair.
Yeah, it looks very comfy. I didn't sit in it because I mean, how dare you? But it takes most of the sheet. But for those of you that don't know, where I'm not in my place, but the picture that usually hangs over my head, my sister Nancy painted that, so that's where she does her stuff.
Oh yes, the songs. Sofa.
So sofa, is that how you say it?
Uh huh.
Cool. So for the rest of you that are watching, what would your ideal room have, and what would you want?
Oh my Lord, everyone! We went to the farmers market yesterday. I forgot what a joy it is to go to a really good farmers market. Like such variety. We got amazing dumplings. We got amazing carrots. Amazing bok choy. I mean, not bok choy. Romaine lettuce, and then beets, which I don't eat beets because I'm allergic to them. But apparently the beet leaves, Daniel knows a way to prepare them, and I've never had a beet leaf, so I don't know if I'll have the same. Hopefully, I won't have the same reaction if I try it. But
you didn't tell me you were allergic to beets.
Oh yeah,
you never said that.
It made me sick as a dog. I don't like beets anyway. You knew that.
Play your music and Spanish music and play the Spanish song.
El
El
baile
baile
del
del perrito.
The dance of the parrot. I don't know what perrito is. And dance to it, Dan. Dance, Dan. Dance.
I don't know that song. I'm gonna look it up as we talk.
Well, anyway, so we went and I got these fresh organic car oranges, which are the oranges that have kind of they're not blood oranges, but they have like a very grapefruit like colored interior. They're my favorite orange in the world. Like I could eat car oranges year round if they were available. And they almost are in California. But oh my, they are beautiful. The car oranges. And then I also got some Fuji apples, which they all are sweet.
Now I want to try that.
They're all sweet like candy. I mean, you could give these oranges and those apples to your kids, and they will not miss candy at all.
No, I'm gonna look it up right now. But by the way, I did look it up, and
there is a no bra day.
Put it on your calendars, folks. Put it on your calendars.
Okay, ladies or guys.
Friday, October 13th.
Or anywhere in between.
Friday, October 13th. This year will be no bra day. So there you go.
Don't wear a bra. Welcome. You hang loose.
You're welcome.
And then Daniel, I can't wait to try the carrots tonight. Because these are like fresh carrots, like they still have the dirt on them or whatever they were grown in, pulled from the earth with their roots, which apparently you can eat the tops of them too. You can saute the tops, and they say they taste pretty good too.
Yes.
The actual green part, which you never see in a grocery store, but these carrots are so beautiful and they're all misshaped. They're gorgeous. Yeah. Oh, I love blood oranges too, but these car oranges, oh, they're so good. They're like it's like eating a piece of candy. And for me, I'm just hardcore cut down my sugar intake, and I'm having withdrawals, and I don't feel well. And those oranges help me out a lot. I only have one a day. I'm not giving myself more than one because then it becomes crazy. But I'm having the one, and I just really enjoy that sweet. So it gets rid of that craving for me without being refined sugar or the other one, high fructose corn syrup. which is really not good.
And I just looked the song. No, I don't think I've ever. I have to listen to it when we're done, but I don't think I've ever heard it. But if it's not an '80s song, then it's not going to be in my jukebox. So there you go.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But I agree, Paul. I love blood oranges.
My parents used to have a tree. I think we talked about this.
Yeah.
My parents used to have a tree. It's probably still there. Blood oranges, and everybody would fight for them. But in Mexico, they call them sangre de toro. Is that right, Nancy? Is she still watching? Sangre de toro, blood, bull's blood.
Bull's balls, oranges.
No, bull's blood. No balls in that. What else is happening? What else have we done?
So that was really fun, and we did get some hargao. No, shumai.
Shumai.
We got some delicious
Farmers
shumai
markets are just good.
from this
You can
from
find
this little
anything.
place. I mean, and this farmers market is like one of the largest ones on the west side of LA. So it was really very well attended. I got this amazing broccoli, vegan, gluten-free, everything free soup. So basically it's just broccoli puree with some stock, vegetable stock, but it was delicious.
Yeah, sangre de toro. That's what they're called. Is it,
Sangre de
those
toro.
juicy oranges are pure delight. Not much need for water when you have them. Yeah, no.
Oh no! I
Yeah.
wish I should take the seeds and try planting them and grow my own little caracara tree.
Because even though I don't taste the sweetness, I still like oranges. Like I'll still eat them. I haven't had one, but I'll have one soon.
There's not enough. You can't have one. You have to go buy some.
But still,
There's only 7 left, so
that's just a week for you to survive.
one a day.
Poor thing. There was a really cute lady selling salsas and
Oh, she was so adorbs. Totes adorbs.
ceviches. One of them was okay. I don't know. But
I think they both were good. It's just the shrimp one. The shrimp one needed more. It needed like some serranos cut into it, and some pepper.
of course it will, but that just means you get to invest your time in something.
Well, yeah, because my neighbor planted lemon seeds, and she has a little baby lemon tree
Yeah,
out there,
they
and
start-
it's producing full size
Yeah,
lemons.
They don't need to be, most citrus trees or most fruit trees don't need to be full grown to start giving.
Yeah, because this
fruit.
one has full size lemons on it, and the lemons are so heavy they make the branch bend. But as soon as you pick it, the branch goes right back up. But I was shocked it already had lemons.
Yeah.
I stole it of you. She doesn't really harvest them, so I figure I could take one every so occasion because I drink lemon water every day.
But
So-
I mean, it takes a long time for them to grow,
Like
But
yeah,
they
to
start-
get full size.
but
yeah.
they start giving.
I'm shocked. Yeah,
pretty-
this
pretty
one's
young.
like a little sapling, and it's already producing full size fruit.
Don't be confused. Don't be.
But that's you're true. It takes years. And oranges, I know my neighbors have a small orange tree, but it produces tons of them.
Yeah.
For being a little one, it's just a little
But
baby
that
tree.
one over there, there's this. It's a mixed. It's a
Lyman. I call it
Yeah.
Lyman. It's lemon. Apparently, either they bought the tree and it was already a hybrid, but it produces striped fruit, and they're green and yellow. They're a combination of lemon and lime.
and the skin is really
Yeah,
thick.
but the fruit inside, the juice it's so different than, it's not lemon, it's not quite lemon, it's not quite lime. It's in between, but it's delicious. I used to make fresh lemonade from it because it was so good.
It's really good.
And all the people on this block harvest those things. Like I'm lucky I'm tall, so I can reach ones that most people can't reach.
So that's only because we have a nurse in the family and another nurse on the way. Today is also National IV Nurse Day.
I didn't know there was IV nurses.
Apparently, there is and maybe
A specialty of putting
if
in
there's
IV,
any nurses watching us, is that a particular
like
job?
like speciality.
Yeah, just like a phlebotomist,
Like a phlebotomist, but they're not nurse. Phlebotomists aren't nurses.
or like
Our cancer nurse,
an oncology nurse.
oncology nurse. That's a
Very
specialty.
specific.
So I'm wondering if IV nurses are the only RNs perhaps that can put in an IV to a
Just-
patient.
We need an IV. Call the nurse.
You know, because I know all doctors could put in an IV, but maybe not all nurses can.
Not all doctors know how to.
No, all doctors know how to do it. It's part of their medical
That
training.
doesn't mean they know how to do it.
No, it means they know how to do it because they've been trained to do it, but it doesn't mean they're good at it. It
Well,
just means they're trained.
I mean,
But that's what I mean. Doctors can do it, but maybe not all nurses can.
and not all nurses know how to do it well either.
Well, not all phlebotomists know how to draw blood well either.
Let me tell you, I've in my 23 years in and out of hospitals and clinics and doctors' offices and appointments, I've learned the lesson that not all,
Not all are
just
equal.
because they were taught, does not mean they know how to do it.
Well, I was taught how to cook, but I don't cook good.
like that one.
Or I'm sorry, that was really bad. I don't cook well.
You've been taught how to cook.
I've been
Can't-
teached words.
When you cook that raccoon, it won't taste nothing well.
It won't taste like mama's.
But there was one.
There you go. That I believe that.
Only specialty nurses can insert IV. Yeah.
So that must be a speciality for
Yeah.
them.
So for all those nurses who do
Woo!
IVs, again, thank you.
You know, what were we watching? Oh, we were watching Fire Country, and which is a new fire show about
Pretty much.
a family of firefighters, and one of them is a felon and is working at this fire camp that's made for felons to kind of help them get better, recover from being a felon. And they were doing something. They had to like get into a woman's body to let the air out of her chest cavity so her lungs could expand and she could breathe. And Daniel was just like wincing and
I don't know why.
in the
I don't know
chair.
why.
And I looked at him and I go, well, I guess you're not ever going to be a nurse.
But I don't know. That surprised me. That
It
I
just
was,
really gagged him. He was like, it was just gross to him.
after everything that I've been through.
I know.
I don't know how I.
But when it's on you, it's different than when you're observing it. Because I got to watch them do these things to you. So I got to see the full view. Like when it's happening to you, whatever they're doing, it's necessary. So I don't think you look at it that way.
But I was awake when they did the surgery on the artery. They only numbed me from the waist down. So I was
That I didn't know. I would have been pissed.
I was awake talking to the nurse. We were making jokes about my butt. And the doctor was getting mad because we were laughing.
And you were moving.
Yes, and he kept saying, "Stop moving." But the nurse was just egging me on too. She kept making butt jokes, and I made butt jokes back.
That's because that was such a serious situation, and it was not handled well by the hospital or the emergency folks were great. It's the hospital folks just were really. That's where I fought most of my battles and who I fought against and fought for appropriate care. So it doesn't amaze me that they're like, she's probably like, let's just make this poor guy laugh because he literally left us and come back a few times on this visit.
And let's be honest, if you know me, you know that if I start talking about anal cancer, there's going to be a butt joke
more than one.
out there somewhere. It's going to come out.
But yeah,
See what I did
I
there?
didn't know that. That's pretty amazing. You never told me that in
Yeah,
all these years.
Yeah, I was awake. But why were you not put to
I know. Why were you not put to sleep?
and the main reason I do remember the main reason is because I've been put under a lot,
Yes.
and they did. And if they didn't have to do it, they weren't going to do it.
And he was really in a frail state. He was very frail. He had passed away already more than once in this particular experience. And they just were not willing to force him to cross over once again and come back.
Yeah,
So
so if in case you didn't know this, there is your body starts reacting to the anesthesia, and it could be negative. You could actually not wake up.
yeah,
So
it'd kill you.
the less they can do it, I'm already on that.
You're on that
threshold.
side of
Yeah.
it where
It-
at this point, no one wants to put you to sleep.
Yeah,
They don't
unless I have
to.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Crystal, it was an experience.
Isn't it 3 times that I died and
Yeah,
was brought?
Daniel died 3 times. He has
And-
literally been clinically dead for over a minute 3 times. And that's as many as we know. It could have happened in previous time and not
You
known.
didn't know that? Oh yeah.
Yeah. We don't talk about it a lot. We don't really share it. Now we've shared it with a bunch of people, but it's usually not something we bring up too often. But now it's so far behind us.
We bury that conversation. Yeah. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, he was clinically gone.
Yeah, and this is for like another time because it's a long. But I saw lights and
Mhm.
I crossed and I saw people.
He had
I saw my
He had
grandfather.
experiences.
I saw my grandfather, and long story short, I saw my grandfather, and I was like, I want to stay here in Spanish. I was like, me quiero quedar, yo me quiero quedar.
And,
And my grandfather was like, no, you're not done yet. Go back. And I was like, no, I don't want to go back.
You're
wanna
not
go
done
back.
with your work.
And then poof, I woke up and I was back.
Yeah, guys, this is really the first time we've talked about it publicly
Yeah.
in any large group
Oh.
or more than one or two people's thing. So yeah, that's part of what I went through as a caretaker, and it's also why I have some PTSD around this stuff.
Yeah. So we'll get into it when we have more time, but it was, I mean,
You know, what do they say? A live omission is still a lie.
yeah. I mean, I've said it in articles.
I think we've said it in article, and it seems more passive when you say it. It's easy not to pay attention to it.
Yeah.
But when you say it like we just said it, it hits home a little harder.
Yeah. But the reason I ended up in the emergency room back in 2016 was
He blew his
right before-
femoral artery.
It's coming up pretty soon. The anniversary.
The anniversary.
Was
He-
because the artery broke and I was bleeding. I bled.
He was bleeding out.
Yeah.
His femoral artery which runs through your hip, your pelvis, and your hip area. It was exposed to air because of his fistulas caused by cancer and the treatment. So it was exposed to air and it hardened and then it burst.
Yeah.
And that's one of your main arteries. That's the artery you don't want punctured or hurting. And I got home just in time to call 911. And by the grace of God, we were here at my house, where the ambulance could get here in a moment. Like literally, the fire station's a block away, and the hospital is 3 blocks away.
But the interesting for those of you, when we talk about energy and when we talk about spirituality and how the universe lines everything up, we don't say it just because we want to like sell you on it. We've lived it. We've
Daniel
actually
has.
lived it. Well,
Some of it. I've just lived on the other side.
but no, Bobby, like
I get it.
in fact, that day I was talking to Nancy, my sister.
Oh yeah.
I was talking to my
Yeah.
sister, and I told her we were gonna, because I remember the day quite well. I was still wearing diapers, and I told her, I said, we're gonna go shopping because our nephew Alexis had gone to Illinois. He was in Illinois in school, and my friend Thelma it's her birthday. My friend Thelma's birthday today. Her daughter,
Happy birthday, Thelma.
her daughter had also moved up
To
Indiana
Illinois,
or
to Indiana,
Illinois.
somewhere close.
and I think Alexis went to Indiana. Anyway, so they moved both north, and we were going to go buy them care packages to send them to college. And I was very excited because I was hardly getting out of the house. And that day I was going to be able to get out of the house for a little bit. So when I got out of bed and went into the bathroom and took off the diaper, blood was just gushing out. And I sat on the toilet and let it just run. And I didn't know what else to do. So I text Christian, where are you? And I would never bug him because Tuesdays was his gym day.
I was at Zumba. I had just finished my Zumba class and was already driving home, and I was just pulling to the driveway when he
Yes, you were in Ohio, Michael. Yeah, because I
Yeah.
sent you. I sent Michael also a little care package.
Yeah.
Cokes. Remember Cokes?
But yeah, Daniel, I was just pulling the driveway when I got his text message, where are you?
So that's why I say that the timing of it was like when I hit send, I heard the truck, the alarm go beep.
Because back then I had my Edie, which was my
Oh yeah, that's right.
my big white Ford Explorer 4x4 giant truck.
And as I heard the beep, I knew Christian was coming. And when he walked in, he didn't realize I was in the bathroom. But for the hemoglobin counting people, I was down to 5. And so
I don't know I can't remember what the
13
norm is like.
13 is the top.
Yeah.
7 is past okay. Anything under 7, you're like, how are you alive? So
And that was
it.
he wasn't for some of it.
So when the EMT guys got here, everything was really bright.
Yeah, this is the part where Daniel started. It's like he was in transition.
And everything was, and I remember telling Christian, like, it's because they were telling me, don't close your eyes, don't fall asleep. I'm like, I'm not falling asleep. Everything is just really bright. And I kept asking
No, he
him,
didn't.
huh?
He did not die in the toilet.
No.
He was transitioning.
No,
but
not
he
the
wasn't.
toilet.
He didn't
No,
die
no.
in the toilet.
That would be very Elvis of me.
Yeah.
Oh, and so I was out back out where that chair is. Pretty much, I was sitting here, and the EMTs came. I couldn't see their faces anymore. All I saw was auras,
Like, yeah, their energy signature.
and then Christian couldn't go with me. But then
I couldn't go in the ambulance.
Then
So,
the EMT guy said we gotta go because he's there already, or he's.
no, they said if we weren't. They literally told me if we weren't 2 minutes from the hospital, you wouldn't have made it.
Yeah.
Like Daniel would not be a part of this planet any longer.
So-
well, he'd be a more integral part of the planet than he is.
But I had, because I couldn't see their faces, but I could see their colors. There was a blue guy, a green guy, and the orange guy.
And the orange guy was the chief.
The chief,
He
and I
he
even
was the
said-
station chief.
I was there like,
He was really good looking
like, is
too.
he? Because I'm like, is he the?
He was the leader thinker.
And
He was telling them what to do, how to do it, and how quick, and just go directly. Like he said, don't wait. And that's when he told me, I can't ride with you because you're too critical.
and then
And they can't have that
Yeah,
interference.
oh, I remember that part, but I know from Christian, but I know that the green guy, I was like, don't let him touch me.
Yeah, you said that too. You said, I don't want him with me. I don't want him with me.
And the guy in blue to me was healing energy, and I'm like,
And he was the one who rode him backwards.
Didn't he call me Danny?
Yeah, he did.
And I was like, nobody calls me Danny. Like that doesn't know.
And
me.
I'm not kidding, guys. All of these fire guys who came in that paramedic were in
Of course, I don't remember.
hot. Oh
I
my
don't
lord!
remember
Because he was
I can't see. I
he
couldn't
was
see. them.
basically bleeding out, so he didn't know.
But
I was like, but I do remember for the ultra gay part of the story, even
Girl.
bleeding out, literally dying in front of me. I had just pulled some clothes. I said, just put something on to cover yourself up. He said, no, I have to wear, like at this point, we couldn't stop the bleeding. And he is like, no, I need to look nice for the paramedic. I'm not going to look like this for the paramedic. He like combed his hair and he did things that no one with his low blood count should have been able to do. He like gussied himself up so he didn't look completely like I'm dying here for the paramedics. And that was hilarious.
Check the Ring.
That was hilarious.
The movie The Ring, I think I've seen it. But what I remember,
Oh yeah, ours were hot. Oh my god,
Yeah.
all four of them were. Oh my god, and the station chief. If you have daddy thing, woo.
but for Charlie asked, do I remember? Yes, I remember the light being really bright here and telling them to turn off the lights or close the blinds.
Shut the blinds, yeah.
But they were not open.
They were shut. Yeah.
On the way to and again, it's only 2 blocks away from here. On the way in the ambulance, I was reading I was doing readings for the guy that was the blue EMT guy. Sounds so like me. Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course.
Ring doorbell.
Doorbell.
The Ring doorbell with the camera in it. They're called Ring.
What about him?
That's what he's referring to. Not ring the doorbell. He means Ring doorbell, like the comes with the video. So you recorded the hot guys.
Oh,
or whatever.
Did any of you try to pinch their butts? I probably did in the vet. No, I'm just kidding.
No,
No.
I would never
But
do
I
that.
did read the EMT, the one in blue, because every time I remember we hold my hand or something, but
Because people, TV shows make you look like bleeding out is not painful. Apparently, it's incredibly painful.
it hurt. I
Because
was in pain.
Daniel was in a lot
I
of
was in
pain. Like,
pain.
and this guy gave you his hand so you could squeeze it.
And I
Like,
ended up reading for him. I go, because even in that state, I was like, look, I'm an intuitive. I read energy. And I think I even told him, you look blue to me. And then I ended up saying, blah, blah. I don't remember what I said, but I said something. But then,
Ziggy, turn on backlight. Okay.
but
Thank you.
but then in the emergency room, didn't I hear? Wasn't I hearing a lady screaming that wasn't
Yeah,
there
and
anymore?
there was no one screaming.
So I could hear a lady screaming who had already died, and didn't you see her later?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Oh,
you
yeah.
saw her, right? So because I tell people this story,
because she was in a hospital gown already, and she was walking around like she looked like someone who was lost in the ER.
oh, the ring doorbell. No, we don't have a ring doorbell. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Now-
he's talking
now
about the
I
ring
get it,
doorbell.
now I
Yeah,
get
I
it.
get it.
This is before the ring doorbells, I think. but just
Yeah, this was.
Um,
Yeah, I don't remember them existing at that. time.
But then in the emergency room too, I ended up reading a nurse.
Oh, the ER nurse
nurse-
that stayed with you
She
for
stayed with us the
90% of the
whole time.
time. She was the one who was going. His red blood cell count is. We've never seen. She goes, I've never seen it this low, and she's been at that point she'd been an ER nurse for like 16 years, and she goes, I have never seen a blood count this low, and the person's alive. So Daniel continues to be a medical miracle in many ways.
They were very, and then I think I can't believe we've not shared this story with you guys. I know we had, but I ended up being in the hospital for 8 days, and I would read the nurses because I wasn't allowed to get up. They would have to come in and bring me food.
He couldn't
change
move
me.
because if he moved, the artery would start bleeding again.
Yeah,
Whatever
this-
healing had gone on to stop the bleeding, it would just start bleeding. He was still bleeding, but it wasn't gushing out.
Yeah, and so the nurses, I rarely ever remember like the same nurses twice because I think they kind of caught on that I was doing readings from my bed.
Yeah.
And I had a deck of cards, so I would do whoever brought me food, I would do a reading, and the nurses really enjoyed that. But we were the first part of the day, the first couple of days, we were not treated very well, and that's another story because it's really long.
Yeah, because this is all a long story in the end.
But after like the third day, man, they just loved us. They were whatever we wanted. So anyway, but I can't believe I'm sure we've shared this
No,
either here, probably not here, but
not in a public.
I think
forum.
I've shared it on Put It Together on my
But-
podcast.
It's different for some reason. In this context, it's a little different, and we have also different friends on this that are watching this. Than
So welcome to the story. Yes, but I technically died 3 times in 1 week because
clinically dead.
I'm an overachiever, and y'all should know that by now.
Yeah.
So
But it's also, his sister has always said that, God must have quite the plan for you because there have been more than one, apparently more times than I know that Daniel should not be with us anymore, but he is. Here he is.
But that's another reason, just before we go into pick of the week, that's another reason why when we talk about energy and we talk about
Yeah.
getting a chance and redoing things and putting out positive energy, and like we've lived it. We've been in those situations where all we had to hold on to was just faith and hope. And
I definitely think cancer definitely changed Daniel's priorities and perception of life. Like the life he was leading stopped existing when he got cancer. Like after cancer, like to now, like to present, he is a totally different man than he was when I met him up to cancer. When I met him up to cancer, he procrastinated. He wanted a lot of things, but they were just dreams, and he wasn't willing to put the work in for them. Meaning, not he was lazy. It's just he just didn't have the capacity.
there was no intention.
There's
in
no
my life.
intention.
I had no intention.
It's like
in
I
my
want
life.
this, I want that. I'm going to complain about this, complain about that, but I'm not going to do anything to change it because that's the real
Yeah.
work.
Not that I was a negative person.
Not at all.
But and also disability.
And he was on disability, which was like a cage, a
So,
gilded
but
cage.
but after cancer, there was more. Well, we launched a lot. I went into acting more serious.
Well, everything.
everything was
And
more intentional.
you manifested, you put out, you gave the universe exactly what you wanted, and you've been manifesting it, and it's been coming true.
Yep.
And he was a very different after cancer. It's like he no longer, he doesn't wait. He's not willing to wait for something to happen. He will make it happen.
I don't go knocking on doors.
Or he will do the work. He doesn't wait for someone to offer him that dream thing.
Casting was the catalyst to get motivated to do what you do.
What you probably freaked out about
Oh, yeah.
previously, like
Yeah.
things that you were a little intimidated to do, like joining SAG. He had the vouchers to join SAG for years and years, and he did nothing with them. And then after, it was after
Dreamed
cancer.
of, not freaked out.
Yeah, but yeah, and like he
Yeah.
became a member of SAG. That was a smaller dream that he had. And I said, why haven't you fulfilled it? You have the vouchers. You know how many people would love to have those vouchers and be able to join? He would not have hesitated. So he had his voucher. He went and joined SAG. And then, then that led to, you need to get representation. He worked on getting, and now he has representation. You need a manager. He got a manager.
Yeah.
He stopped seeing roadblocks and he started seeing opportunities.
So the moral of the story is I should be an EMT because people will see me as a handsome bachelor.
Yes.
Yes.
If that's a good motivation.
Yes. I think the uniform automatically
You become
makes you
handsome. You become
handsomer.
hotter
makes you hotter. Yeah.
just by default because
Yeah.
you're like literally saving people's lives.
That's
And can you think of a more like it's just like being a nurse? Like that's such an being of service position.
Yeah.
You don't do nursing because I just love helping people. Or I love the huge paychecks. Like I've been told by more than one nurse, the paychecks aren't that big. The ones who make the big paychecks are the ones in the white coats who don't do all the same things.
But definitely, that's where we have a big respect and love
For nurses
and EMTs.
no matter what level you're at, and EMTs absolutely, and firemen.
Because
Who doesn't love firemen? But the paramedics,
they definitely, they treated us with such dignity and respect, and then me
and such openness.
Yeah, and there was never in one moment from the time they got here to the moment they dropped us off at the emergency room did I ever feel like they used anything against me, and so
there wasn't any homophobia or crazy garbage like that going on. They knew we were a couple, and they treated us with dignity and respect, which is all I ask. I don't want you to agree with me. I don't need you to accept me. Just treat me with dignity and respect because I freaking have earned that.
But for that guy on the way, like I said, 2 blocks, but for him to grab my hand as we're going there and going, I got you, all right, dude. For some people, that kind of drama, can make the person give up on life. Yeah.
I'm grateful I had been in program for 11 years at that point because I'm 18 years sober now.
Yeah.
And
you're right, Crystal. Yeah.
Like I'm grateful I was in program because I weren't in program and in recovery from my addiction. I would never have been able to be of service to Daniel. I would never have been able to be a caretaker because I would have made everything about me. I would have been the victim, not Daniel, not the one with cancer. It would have been the one without cancer, the caretaker. Why am I stuck with a guy who gets cancer? Why did my boyfriend have to get cancer? Why am I the one doing all the work while he is like everyone asks how he's doing? But no one. Now I resented that fact that no one asked how I was doing. But that's a whole different thing. But I didn't make it a reason to make it about me. Like I don't think I know for a fact I didn't make a single moment of his illness and the time I was his caretaker about me.
And by that point I'd already been sober 10 years, something like that. So Christian, you have such a great insight.
Thank you.
But he does, but I do think that his condition and my condition, it's all helped us to get where we are. Again, we don't toot our own horn because look at us.
It doesn't make me fabulous as a caretaker. I love Daniel. That's why
we've just lived it. We've lived it. So anyway. So let's do you ready?
But yeah, you do this stuff because you love someone. I don't know any caretakers. I don't care about them at all. Then why are you wouldn't be taking care of them?
You ready?
Yes.
Want an intro?
Hi, yes, I would. Hi. My pick of the week is 1923, starring Harrison Ford and Helen Mirren. It is the prequel. It's the second prequel to Yellowstone, which stars Kevin Costner. I watched all the seasons of all of my back seasons of Yellowstone from season 1. So I'm all caught up on Yellowstone and I love the show. I can't believe I didn't watch it originally. And it's fantastic. Then they came out with 1899. 1899 was the prequel to Yellowstone. It's when the Dutton, which the Dutton family is the family that owns all this land in Montana. It's when his ancestors first came to that land and made the deal with the Indians to own all that huge amount of property. And they made a deal to own it and to sustain certain things for in perpetuity forever. And so then 1923 is the next chapter after 1899, obviously. And that's the Harrison Ford one. And that one's been really good, but that one's just come out. And Yellowstone, then of course, then you could watch Yellowstone and see the modern version of the Dutton family, how they still own the ranch, but how it's grown so much, it's become, it's just become big money. And it's just interesting to see all these different stages of how this happened. And like, one of their great aunts died on the ground. It was great. 1923, I've only seen, they're coming back February 5th with more episodes. It's just fantastic. And of course, Helen Mirren and Harrison Ford. Are you kidding me? How could that not be good? They're both so accomplished and Academy Award winners. So
nice.
1923 is available on Hulu.
My pick of the week is The Rig, and you can find this on Amazon Prime. The Rig is the story of this crew that works on an offshore drill station, and all of a sudden this day there's an old rig, yeah. And all of a sudden this fog, there's this storm, and this kind of fog starts taking over because they're in the middle of nowhere. And they realize that they don't know where this fog is coming from. They don't know what it's supposed to do, but it cuts out electricity. It cuts out any connection to the mainland, and it makes people go crazy. I won't tell you what happens or how they do it, but there's this big change in people's DNA and what's going on with the body. As far as actors, if you watch Schitt's Creek, Emily Hampshire, who played I just forgot her name. Stevie, her character is now Rose. She plays like the manager in charge. She's part of the corporate world that owns this rig. So she's real rigid. She's so different. In fact, it took me two episodes to realize who she was. I was like, who is she? Oh, I'm like, I finally realized who she was. But it's really intriguing. I'm halfway through it, so I don't know where this fog is coming from here. But it definitely caught my attention. I watched it one night when I couldn't sleep at like 2:00 in the morning, and I was hooked. So definitely go watch it out. It's on Amazon Prime. It's called The Rig, and it's kind of a supernatural.
I gotta admit, I didn't know there was a supernatural element, because the way they play it, it just sounds like it's something goes wrong on an oil rig.
When did your decision with tacos start again? My sister's watching. Let's ask her. But I've always loved tacos. Michael's pick, that 90s show. Oh, really?
Yeah. It's on Netflix.
I know, but I've heard some not great stuff about it.
I've heard a lot of not great stuff.
I'm going to watch it. If you like it, Michael, I'm going to check it out. The Modern Day Dutton Ranch is a resource everyone is fighting over.
Right. That's the modern times. That's the fight they're fighting there. It's actually the Indians who gave them the land. The modern descendants are like, we want it back. Like, no one should own that much land.
Oh wow!
Like, it's very interesting. It's a really good show.
And we talked about Yellowstone. Christian is watching it because we watched an episode at our friend's house and we got hooked.
Totally.
So now I have to start watching. Cameos of the original cast. The storyline isn't that strong, but it's still a nice show. Okay. Cool. Nostalgia. Yeah, it's nostalgia.
I didn't like the original show, so
so basically
for me it might not work.
If you like the 70s show, you'll like the 90s show.
Oh, we both have seen that, and we both have said, when we saw the picture and it said Women of War. So I'm gonna add it to my list. Then I will watch it at some point.
We'll check it out.
Because I love stories about strong women anyway.
We did go back. Well, we started watching because we both kind of enjoyed it. The Bachelor is back. Escándalo, the first night. So yes, in case you didn't know, we are fans of The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. I like The Bachelorette.
I like The Bachelorette because the guys they're way cattier than the women. The women are very predictable. How they be. Do you mind if I? I'm sorry. Do you mind if I interrupt?
This is nice.
I like this.
I like us. So, but we watched the first episode of The Bachelor last night, and it was pretty cool.
Yes,
they had an 80s show that the 80s show, but it wasn't the same.
Yeah, it was totally different.
I wonder if this is why it didn't work out.
But yeah, and like, of course, I wanted to mention the Miss Universe fiasco with the women screaming into the microphones.
I'm a big pageant watcher. So did y'all watch the Miss Universe and the whoever production, because it was It was a production thing. It was a production thing. They had them all come out. You know how they do it? Like, hi, I'm Daniel
I think they were
Garza.
trying to get them to be more cheerleader-like, where you're just like USA, but they took it the note as scream at the top of your lungs the country you're from.
Bolivia.
Yeah. France.
If you go on YouTube and you type in Miss Universe, there's going to be a like 10-minute video with them with just the introduction, and it's crazy. But then go
to SNL.
But then go to SNL and find the video making
Go
fun.
just type in SNL Miss Universe and you will get the skit that they did, which is hilarious.
Yeah, I can understand why the Dakota tribe wants part of the land or lease a parcel because they've been systematically impoverished, and having some of the Dutton land would help offset. Yes,
Right. And what's interesting about that is it's again the modern descent, the original ancestors who gave the property to the Duttons, and the Duttons promised we'll keep it this way and beautiful, and we'll never develop it or anything. They had no idea how their people were headed, to being oppressed and put into basically concentration camps that they call reservations. Like, it's interesting that they had no idea what was coming, and if they had even an inkling, they would never have given that property to the Duttons.
Okay, that's funny. Yes, now that you're older, yes, I'm gonna put a foot in your butt. Oh no, it's a foot up your ass. That's funny. SNL did take on the they were screaming.
Oh yes, that's exactly it. That actually happened. They weren't exaggerating it.
We watched it. We watched the Saturday Night Live, and I was like, no, you have to go watch the original.
Because I didn't believe it. I thought they were
sense.
just making fun of it on SNL. You know, the exaggeration, and of course it was exaggerated, but it wasn't by much.
Not by much.
These ladies were screaming into the microphone, like I said, like Paraguay.
She gets her back. It's no longer really. I thought it was well because she was directing it too, wasn't she? Madonna was directing her own biopic.
Madonna, I think she finally phased herself out of the ever-changing face of Madonna, because she changed her face a little too much. Madonna, I get it. I'm not in the public eye. I don't have, billions of people watching me and expecting me to look good my entire life, which is a ridiculous expectation. But Madonna changed her face so much that she doesn't look like Madonna. Like, I'm thinking if her kids were little, they wouldn't know who she is. Kitty, meow, meow. Oh, it is kind of like that. Those girls at least were doing it more cheerleader-like. These girls they looked insane. They're just like, hi, my name is Martha Squagmeyer, and I'm from Paraguay. I mean, they literally went from normal pageant look to like big eyes screaming into the mic.
I wish we could show it.
I do. If it's licensed, I can do.
Go Google SNL Miss Universe, but first watch the original.
You got to watch the original first, and then watch the SNL.
And you don't have to watch the whole thing. Just watch the beginning, and you get the idea, and then go watch the Saturday Night Live sketch.
I mean, you literally hear their voice cracking from screaming so much. Like, they scream so loud that they crack their own voice. It's hilarious. And that's the real. I'm talking not the SNL skit, but the actual pageant.
And if you choose to watch more of the videos, because you're liable to go down
the rabbit hole.
Keep an eye on Miss France. I don't know what was up her that night, but she was odd.
Who? Oh yeah, Miss France. And SNL does a good exaggeration.
I'm sure there is a TikTok. I haven't looked for it, but I haven't
going to
looked
make that a TikTok.
I'm sure there is. Hey, Maris, nice to see you.
Hi, Maris.
Nice to see you. Thank you for joining us. Well, we're almost gone. We want to remind you folks that we've got shows almost every day of the week for y'all. On Mondays, make sure you check for
every other Monday.
On Monday, make sure you check for the horoscopes first thing in the morning. They'll be there ready for you on whatever social media page you follow us. Then every other Monday, and we won't have one next Monday, the following Monday, which is that one this week, will be Insightful, a movie review show. We're planning maybe in the future to do it once a week, but only if we have enough guest co-hosts. So what do? If you have a movie or a movie that inspired you, motivated you, that you want to critique, that has an LGBT feeling to it, health issues, recovery, and you want to talk about it, you need to message us and then we'll look up the movie or that you're suggesting, and then you get to come on the show and be a guest co-host with
Be a
us.
part of the discussion.
Yes. So.
But yeah, Christian, you're absolutely. I think that would be genius.
Oh my God! Yes. Yes. So every other Monday until we move it to every Monday, we're looking for a guest. Next
Next
Monday,
week after next.
following after.
So the
um,
first Monday of February.
Yes, we're doing Torch Song Trilogy. So
That's
if
gonna
you
be
have
good.
not seen it, it's Harvey Feinstein,
And Matthew Broderick.
Matthew Broderick, and
It's actually one of the movies that, besides Ferris Bueller's Day Off, it's one of the more. It's the first time he got a more serious
Role.
role, and it like launched him into the dramatic characters of
Torch
the actors.
Song Trilogy. Look it up. We're gonna in 2 Mondays from now. We will be on here on Monday, same time, 6 p.m. So come over and chat with us. If you have seen it and you want to talk about it, send us a message, and you might be a guest co-host with us. Then remember, Wednesdays, Chris and Daniel. On Fridays, we've got the card reading shows, Zodiacs or Cardivo. And then this Saturday, Paul Olenhall, who has been a guest both was he on here with us? No. He was on Put It Together. He's been on Put It Together before. He's coming back because we're talking about a program called Simon for Seniors, which you're like, what? Simon for Seniors is a program that helps seniors who are prone for dementia or Alzheimer's to maintain their memory by playing the old game.
Well, it
Simon.
exercises their brains, which causes their brain to produce new neurons, which is a preventative to diving down the rabbit hole with full-on dementia or Alzheimer's.
And you remember that game, Simon?
Yeah, Simon Says.
I had that game.
I love that game.
I love that game.
And I played it so much. I never would have thought it would have applications like for Alzheimer's and dementia patients to help maintain where they're at or not get worse. Like I would never thought, because it's such a fun game. And they make tiny ones. You can get keychain ones that actually work.
Yeah.
And just play it in your hand if you need to.
And he was telling me there's an air Simon. You're like, what? So the air Simon is this circle, and it stands, and it's got 3 colors and then 1 on the bottom, and you just have to
around it, like
very Reiki.
That's really neat.
So I want one.
An air
But
Simon.
I want you. Please tune in Saturday at noon Pacific, 3 Eastern to talk about this, because they're expanding the program nationwide.
Yeah, right now, it's been rather. It's been a specific sample group.
Yeah, and so he wants to put it out nationwide, and they're looking for ambassadors on different parts of the country to create this program wherever they are, and they will help you. Hasbro is part of this, who designs. They own the patent to Simon They
Says.
will do it. So yes, Charlie, thank you for reminding us. It is time to go.
Bye-bye.
For everybody joining us, thank you so much. We will see you next week. Bye.
Bye, guys. Bye.